another exciting episode on your darling station, Poly TV Ilaro. And today on Poly TV Show, it is that very program, Poly TV Show, on your darling station, Poly TV Ilaro. I want to welcome you all to this exciting episode. I'm Samuel Olaniyan.
And I am Damilola Adekunle. It's good to know that you're out there watching our favorite and wonderful show, Poly TV Show, Poly TV Ilaro Show. Thank you to everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for keep watching. We are excited to be here today again to bring you fantastic programs, and I'm very sure that you don't want to miss it because we have a whole lot for you.
Exactly, just as Dami has rightly stated, we have a whole lot of exciting content for you today on Poly TV Show and Poly TV Ilaro. And once again, I want to appreciate all our very viewers on YouTube, as well as all those who are following and keeping tab on Poly TV Show. Like, we really love you all. Thank you for the likes, the comment, and also the the sharings and everything. We really love you all.
Exactly.
We love your engagement on our YouTube page. Keep on subscribing, keep on sharing, keep on commenting, and keep on engaging with Poly TV Ilaro on YouTube and also across social media platforms. And straight away, don't forget, on Poly TV Show, like we normally do, we have the segment, the first segment, that's FPR Agenda, where we'll bring in staff of the Polytechnic.
First segment, we have the newspaper front page. You missed that.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we're going to have the newspaper front page review. So we'll give you headlines that are making waves across the major dailies that we have in Nigeria, and then we move straight to the next one, and that's FPR Agenda.
Exactly.
On FPR Agenda, what we'll do there is basically we'll bring in a staff of the Polytechnic. I mean, the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, one of the very best campus you have in West Africa, one of the very finest, the finest, and also the most beautiful and the most serene Polytechnic you have in the whole of Nigeria. So we'll bring a staff to tell us about happenings around the Polytechnic.
Followed by from the Directorate of Student Affairs, where we have the staff of the Directorate come to the studio to tell us what's happening in the Directorate office and how the students are doing. Basically, that segment, it's just for the welfareism of the student.
And also would have that segment, and that's the FPI Center Table, where we get to bring in, we share experience, I mean, stories that tries to inspire you. We have students who are doing us proud. We have students, we have staff, we have alumnus who are doing the Polytechnic community proud. So we bring them on set to tell us stories about their business, about their ventures, about their endeavors. A lot of exciting, inspiring stories that you would really want to hear on Poly TV Show Ilaro. And also, so we'll quickly go on this short break, and when we come back, we'll start the program properly. We'll start with the front page newspaper review. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. It's still the Poly TV Show on Poly TV Ilaro, and like Sam, we said earlier before we went on that short break, we said we have a whole lot of segments for you on the show today. So to start today's segment, which is the newspaper front page, we have several newspapers to review today. We have the Punch, we have the Nation, Daily News Hub, This Day. What other papers do you have?
Yeah, we also have Vanguard newspaper, we have Sporting Sun, we also have Daily Sun, we have Leadership newspaper, as well as Tribune, and then we have New Telegraph and a few other newspaper. We have Blueprint newspaper also with us this day. Okay,
so to start the segment, to be starting with the Punch newspaper, and there is this bold headline: hunger protest, military talk stop as pro-Russia rally spread. Hunger protest, military talk stop as pro-Russia rally spread. And there are two riders underneath it. DHQ hunts protest sponsors, governor to summon emergency security meetings. Russia disowns protesters, police arrest over 30. More northern states declare curfew. That story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
All right, and still on the aspect of the protest, still on the story of the protest, we have a story from the Punch that says protest wrought Nigeria, Bangladesh, United Kingdom. And then for more of that story, you can turn to page to the very page 227 and 29 of the Punch newspaper.
Why fuel importers will frustrate Dangote? Why fuel importers will frustrate Dangote? That story is credited to the former president, Obasanjo, and that story is on page 19 of the Punch newspaper.
And on page 20 of the Punch newspaper, we have a story. Fuel queues to clear as loading resumes at depot. Yeah, fuel queues to clear as loading resumes at depot. For more of the story, we can turn to page 20 of the Punch.
Kyari's fate divides reps. Kyari's fate divides rep. That story is on page 28 of the Punch newspaper.
Blackout as national grid collapse again. Blackout as national grid collapse again. That story is on page 20 of the Punch.
Federal government asks workers to register for 40,000 naira rise. Federal government asks workers to register for 40,000 naira rise. That story is on page 27 of the Punch newspaper.
And away from the Punch newspaper, we move straight to the Nation newspaper. And on the Nation, the biggest story on the front page of the Nation is the story that says businesses open peaceful Lagos. Bank looting in Kaduna. Businesses open in peaceful Lagos. Bank looting in Kaduna. For more of that story, it also has a rider. It has riders that says, please, protesters battle in Abuja, curfew in Plateau, Bauchi, and Kaduna, Benin peaceful. For more of that story, you can turn to the page 1 of the Nation newspaper.
Sanwo-Olu government has completed 19 abandoned housing schemes, says Commissioner. Sanwo-Olu government has completed 19 abandoned housing schemes, says Commissioner. That story is on page 12 of Nation newspaper.
20,371 students get NEL funds 20,000 naira each as monthly stipend. 20,371 students get NEL funds 20,000 each as monthly stipend. For more of the story, you can turn to page 5 of the Nation.
Still on the front page, NCC asks telecoms to simplify tariff plans, bundles, others. NLC asks telecoms to simplify tariff plans, bundles, others. That's the reason, page 7 of the Nation.
Don't spray Naira. Fred Bobrisky advises Nigerians. Don't spray Naira. Fred Bobrisky advises Nigerians. For more of that story, you can turn to page 26 of the Nation.
Firms to power hospitals with compressed natural gas. Firms to power hospitals with compressed natural gas. That story is on page 5 of the Nation newspaper.
Flying foreign countries flag treasonable. CDS warns. Flying foreign countries flag treasonable. Chief of Defense Staff warns.
Moving away from the Nation newspaper, I move straight to Daily News Hub newspaper, and there is this bold headline: Russian flag. Tinubu orders crackdown on protesters as embassy denies country's involvement. Russian flag. Tinubu orders crackdown on protesters as embassy denies country's involvement, and there are two riders underneath it. It's treasonable offense. Military. Police authorities declare. Says development worrisome. The story is on the front page of the Daily News Hub newspaper.
Protest. Governor Sani declares 24-hour curfew in Kaduna, Zaria. Protest. Governor Sani declares 24-hour curfew in Kaduna, Zaria. For more of that story, you can grab a copy of Daily News Hub.
Police go after Russian flag suppliers. Arrest Taylor. 30 protesters in Kano. Police go after Russian flag suppliers. Arrest Taylor. 30 protesters in Kano. That story is on the front page of Daily News Hub newspaper.
DSS arrests any bad governance and Nigeria leader in Abuja. DSS arrests any bad governance leader in Abuja. For more of the story, grab a copy of Daily News Hub.
Federal government issues travel alert for citizens planning to visit UK. Federal government issues travel alerts for citizens planning to visit the UK. That story is on page 26 of the Daily News Hub.
And away from Daily News Hub, we move straight to This Day newspaper. And the story, we have varieties of headline making waves on the front page of this day. And first on the list this day is Tinubu security aides meet over state of nation as protest persists in Kaduna, Kano, as well as Plateau. For more of that story, you can grab a copy of this day newspaper.
Electricity grid experiences partial disturbance as supply slumps. Electricity grid experience partial disturbance as supply slumps. That story is on page 25 of this day newspaper.
Still on this day newspaper, Nigerian stock market joins US, orders to depreciate as investors trade with caution. Nigerian stock market joins US, others to depreciate as investors trade with caution. For more of the story, you can turn to page 25 of this day newspaper.
Away from this day newspaper, move straight to Business Day. Businesses reopen as states contain simmering protests. Businesses reopens as states contain simmering protest. And there are two riders underneath it. Police arrest 873 protesters. Security Council vows to resist push for change of government. That story is on the front page and continue on page 21 of Business Day newspaper.
And still on Business Day newspaper, MTN, Airtel reduced forex debt by $867 million. For more of that story, you can turn to page 20 of Business Day.
Nigeria Eurobond sell-off as investor see protest derailing reforms. Nigeria Eurobond sell-off as investors see protest derailing reforms. That story is on page 20 of Business Day.
Oil deals shrink 7 times on investors' apathy. All deals shrink 7 times on investor apathy. For more of that story, you can just grab a copy of Business Day newspaper.
Away from Business Day, I have the Blueprint newspaper. As protesters fly Russian flags, military will resist reasonable push to change government. That is credited to Musa, and there are two riders underneath it. We don't interfere in domestic affairs of other nations. Kaduna imposes curfew as one killed, properties looted. That story is on the front page of Blueprint newspaper.
You can't sell Nigerian air to Ethiopian Airlines, court rules. You can't sell Nigerian air to Ethiopian Airlines, court rules. For more of that story, you can turn to page 8 of Blueprint newspaper today.
76% of babies in Nigeria denied exclusive breastfeeding. 76% of babies in Nigeria denied exclusive breastfeeding. That story is credited to the UNICEF, and that story is on page 5 of Blueprint newspaper.
And still on Blueprint newspaper, pension fund rises to 20.5 trillion naira first half of 2024. Pension fund rises to 20.5 trillion naira in the first half of 2024. For more of the story, you can turn to page 10 of Blueprint newspaper.
I can't assist Tinubu tackle hunger. Generates 15 trillion naira in 2 years. That is credited to a rice farmer, and that story is on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper.
And so we move to Nigerian Tribune. And the very big story is still on the aspect and the issue of protest, with the story they captured this way: military warns of treason as protesters fly Russian flags in Kaduna, Kano, others. It has riders that says, we won't accept push for democratic change of government. Taylor suspected to be mass producing Russian flags in Kano. And also DSS arrest Taylor suspected to be sowing mass producing Russian flags in Kano, while Russia distances itself from flag flown across protest. Coffee in Bauchi, Kaduna, Plateau. For more of the story, you can turn to page 4 and page 24 of Nigerian Tribune.
Ladoja to receive beaded crown next week after council meeting. Ladoja to receive beaded crown next week after council meeting. That's the reason, page 14 of Nigerian Tribune newspaper.
Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, direct telecos to simplify tariff plans, data bundles for subscribers. NCC directs telecos to simplify tariff plans, data bundles for subscribers. For more of that story, you can turn to page 6 of Nigerian Tribune.
Nelfund disburses July upkeep stipends to 20,371 students. Nelfund disburses July upkeep stipend to 20,371 students. That's the reason, page 3 of Nigerian Tribune.
Reps dissolve joint committee investigating NNPCL, NMDPRA. For more of that story, you can turn to page 16 of Nigerian Tribune.
Federal government issues travel advisory to Nigerians flying to UK. Federal government issues travel advisory to Nigerians flying to UK. That's the reason, page 14 of Nigerian Tribune.
And away from Nigerian Tribune, Nigerian Leadership newspaper, and front page of Nigerian Leadership. Criminals have hijacked hunger protest, military warns. Criminals have hijacked hunger protest, military warns. With Rider, the state declares waving foreign flags treasonable offense. Refutes cope remorse as Russia distance self from protesters. Kaduna government imposes 24-hour curfew. For more of that story, you can turn to page 4 of the Leadership.
INEC registers 177,914 new voters in Edo, Ondo. INEC registers 177,914 new voters in Edo, Ondo. That story is on page 12 of Leadership newspaper.
And straight to the world of Vanguard newspaper today, we have the story: Kaduna Zaria boil over 700 billion naira loss in 5 days, and that's according to Asbon as well as Kasima. For more of the story, turn to page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper.
Federal government wants Nigerians on UK travels as Starmer vows swift sanctions against rioters. That story is on page 9 of Vanguard newspaper.
And also on Vanguard today, Igbo must go threat. Southeast Senate caucus waits in. For more of that story, you can turn to page 11 of Vanguard.
I think with that, we have to come to the end of this segment, the newspaper front page on Poly TV show. Don't forget, it's a segment on this show, and we've been moving straight to the next segment of the program, which is FBI agenda. But we have to go on a short break, and when we come back, we get to unravel our guest for that segment. We'll be right back.
You're still on to Poly TV show on Darlin Station, Poly TV Laru. And like we told you before we went on that break, we are on to the next segment of the program, and that's FBI Agenda. And on FBI Agenda, we get to bring you a guest where we get to talk about polytechnic issues. And today, we have a very interesting and a very educative one to talk about as regards the Federal Polytechnic in Laru. And also, let me inform you that we have our guest in the studio already, and we have the very honor to welcome to be on site with us today our very own the Dean of the School of Environmental Studies, and that's in person of Quantity Surveyor Jacob Abiodun Bamidele Awulesi. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome,
Good
sir.
to see you.
Yes, sir.
Nice seeing you too,
Nice
sir.
for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so we want to move straight to our discussion. We understand that you are the Dean of the School of Environmental Studies, and we understand that it comes with various challenges and various successes in the past. So can you just give us an overview of your role as a Dean of the School of Environmental Studies?
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying that I want to thank God for the pioneers of this particular polytechnic, because starting from the pioneer rector, Dr. Ogun Badejo, through to Professor Olagbegi, Dr. Makonjola, Dr. Lawyer of blessed memory, Architect Segun Aluko, a wonderful man, and the current rector, Dr. Akede. They've done very well. School of Environmental Studies was coming out of the former School of Engineering in 1990. And they started with the Department of Building, because that Department of Building was with the Engineering Department, School of Engineering, before the advent of School of Environmental Studies. And since then, it has been progress from here and there. And I want to say something at this point, that our school has been a very peculiar one, because we have produced so many great men, even for the Polytechnic. The immediate past rector, Dr. Aluko, is from our school, wonderful man. And also, we have a deputy rector at some point, and even the current deputy rector admin is also from our school. Talking about the challenges in the school, well, the foundation has been properly laid, and for that reason, you hardly have serious problem, because when the structures are already on ground, then most of the issues will not be as difficult as anything as one would think. So we are not having any serious challenges, but whenever any challenge come up, the structures to even handle it are already there.
Thank you so much for that. So I want to ask, how many departments do we have in the School of Engineering?
School of Environmental,
yeah.
Yes, we have 8 departments in all.
Okay.
It started with a building, like I told you, in 1990, through to URP, through to estate management and valuation. Later we have quantity surveying. We also have surveying and geoinformatics S&G. We also have art and design. Then before art and design we have architecture. Then after that we have art and design. Then lately we have printing. So 8 in all.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I think that's quite massive. All right, let's talk about the structure of the School of Environmental Studies. I understand that we have other staffs aside from the dean. We have the school officers and all that. Can you give us the working relationship that you have with the other staff of the school?
Yeah, thank God. Like I told you, the structure has already been laid there. I'm on the top as a dean, and the various head of departments of those departments I mentioned earlier on are the ones working directly with me. Then after that they have their own lecturers. Then maybe before I go into the departmental structure, I will look at the school office where I am the dean. I also have a secretary there, and also have a school officer who is a representative of the registrar in the school. It coordinates all the day in day out activities of the registry within the school. That's for the school office. Then we also have the department. Each of the department has their various staffs under the head of the department, and each of the department also have the core competence wing, that is the lecturers. Then they also have the support wing, the admin people, secretary, IT staff, dispatch clerks, and all the rest of it. So that's the way it works.
That's great. So how have you been managing all of these, the staff in your school? How have you been managing them, and also the students?
Oh, the management of the staff is vested with the HOD, and it reports to us on a daily basis. Then we also have what we call coordination meeting on a monthly basis. Then apart from that, there's what we call congregational meetings, just the same way it's represented at the Polytechnic level.
Okay.
We do have it at the interval that the Polytechnic is also having its own. If the Polytechnic has the congregational meeting today, we also have our own probably the next week to harness all the information that the Polytechnic is also trying to sell to the various departments under my school. That's the way the department is run. Then for the students are basically under the control of what we call the academic staff representative in charge of the students. We call them, we have a central association we call Estate ESA. Environmental Studies Student Association. They are connected with their coordinator, who is an academic staff. That one will look into all the activities, and under that particular umbrella of the Environmental Student Association, we have individual departmental association also that are also under that ESA, and all of them reports to the coordinator. And at the departmental level, the students also report to their HOD. They also have staff controllers, so to say, but they're working with them there at the departmental level. So all of that, all the lineage of the control still come back to the dean's office in that line.
Well, I think that's quite impressive. You made mention of the student body of the school. I was going to ask, because we understand the fact that ESA as an association and also the school itself, you have politically minded students who are also academically sound. Yeah. In the past, that we've seen students from that angle being student union presidents and leaders. What can you say is a driving force towards having students who are politically sound and also academically sound also?
Even
as
your staffs as
exactly,
well. Even
exactly.
your staffs as well, sir.
You see, every human being, I would say, we are all political animals.
Exactly.
And for that reason, wherever, like I used to tell my students, wherever you find yourself, first of all, study the environment. Make sure that you are part of the environment. There's this popular musician that says, whoever does not impact his society is not even fit to live. Show me your impact as a person, I'll know that you are living.
Alabaja.
Yeah, God bless you. So you see, our students, okay, if you look at our mandate as a school, when we graduate as students, we say these following students have been examined academically and morally. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that moral goes beyond just teaching them be a good boy, be a nice boy, but it also cut across wanting to know what is it, or which way do you have to go in terms of governance. And that's the reason why the school, in their magnanimity, allow that they have student union society or whatever, where their issues are discussed among themselves, and they also elect their own officers. In fact, I could remember when I was in school, it was that time that I know, because during my days in school, there was no how do I put it? It was military regime all over the place. But then they showed us how elections are conducted. And in that same way, within here now, even for those students that have not even seen election properly conducted, they see the way they are conducted. So I think that's a reason why all of that comes into play.
Thank you so much, sir. Do you join hands with other schools or departments to achieve a particular goal? Maybe a project or anything that your school is working on?
Oh.
Or has worked on?
If you look at all the walkway that you find there, they are done by the Department of Building. Which means, apart from the fact that maybe let me put it this way. Most of the departments in the school, they come together and do the paving stone, because all of them do what we call concrete workshop technology at the building department as a course.
Okay.
So in the past years, they are involved in casting the paving stones, and they lay it as a project. Wow. So, and as you are doing that, you will see that I wanted to tell you earlier on that it is not coincidental that they put all of the many courses that we find in environmental together. Architecture will design the building, the conservator will do the costing, the ULP will set where the building should be located, the S&G will also give the precise portion where the structure should stand in terms of coordinate points. Then the art and design will beautify the inside. What I'm saying in essence is that all of these people, all of the departments work together on particular projects, and they come out because all of them have that background. For example, apart from probably art and design, all of the other departments and printing, all of the other departments do building construction as a course. So that is about the internal or the school levels involvement.
Yes.
Then there's no, okay, most of us go to EED, most of our students go to EED. Yes. Definitely they have interactions there too.
I think we need to commend your leadership at the School of Environmental Studies, and also to commend the students so far. But let's talk about the aspect of, we understand that the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro has a very beautiful environment, as an environment that is serene and also has aesthetic. Exactly.
Very peaceful.
So let's talk about the impact of your school. You just mentioned that your students are also involved with the payment and all that. Let's talk about the serenity and also the environmental aspect of the institution. How has the school environmental, we know they've been impacting in the past, but can you be much more specific about how your school has been helping to also give us this beautiful serene that we have in this polytechnic?
You see, by the training we give to our students, first of all, they will eventually come out as designers. Maybe I'll stop at that. But presently, like I mentioned earlier on, the walkway are part of that impact. The paving stone are part of that impact. If you look at the clinic, for example, some of the that parking area, the landscaping of the front, the same thing that our own school building too, and various other ones. The contractors that are involved in the project will have done their own bit, but to still come up as with our students as a school to help in adding more to the. In fact, it's in the pipeline now that we are trying to suggest to the management of the polytechnic that our students should be involved in some of the when the project, government do. They are the owners of the building and they do give out the contract. Yes. But once they are done with it, you can come in and do the landscaping. Like in the architecture department, we have an expert in landscape. The student will design the landscape, and another set of students in building probably do the casting of because landscape has to do with parking and the horticulture around it. So we can also liaise with the agric department or whoever is involved in the horticulture to also get all that done.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. So now let's talk about your final year students.
Okay.
Those that are like doing their projects. How is their project like? Is it that they just write or they practicalize their project?
You see, if you look at it will be in two parts now.
Okay.
For architecture, URP, art and design, building, most of them are practical oriented projects, but they still need to do a write-up on what their findings on that particular, or the way they could go about the project. They still do that. For courses like QS, estate, and probably a bit of S&D will go with the first group, estate, QS, and maybe printing. Okay, printing will also be bulk of the work practical, but for QS and estate, for example, it will be research work talking about topical issues within their department, within their own course.
Okay, I think that's very explicit. Now, so I want us to talk about the aspect of the last baby of the house. I'm talking about the newest department you have, that's printing technology. I'm aware that just recently the course was fully accredited by the National Board for Technical Education, and they gave a whole lot of kudos and a lot of appreciation and acknowledging the impact of our current rector, Dr. Mukaila Kinde. Yeah. So can you just give us an insight into the whole of the accreditation process, and also what gave birth to that particular department, that program?
Let me also join you in thanking our rector. This our current rector is a wonderful man. I would like to tell you that he committed so much fund into that last accreditation. Within the last year and now, we did some set of accreditation in I think April. We did another one in December. And that printing happens to be part of the one we did in December. If you look at printing, it's a bit of a capital-based program. They need quite a lot of machines for cutting, for printing, for all of this. I could remember when we were going around the facilities and I entered probably they call it the pre-printing side of that course. we have to do all their graphic design and all the rest of it. It's a standard studio, very fine thing, big investment in terms of cost. So the exercise was a very good one. We did very well. The documentation side of it, we were able to get through it. The academic staff part of it, in terms of staffing, where we are having shortfall and there, the rector adequately prop it up, and thank God, like you rightly said, we eventually got the accreditation, and that was for all the programs in our school, because virtually all the programs in our school were involved in the last accreditation, probably at the April time of doing it, or at the December time of doing it.
Thank you so much for that. I see you're so proud of the rector and also proud of you yourself, the staff and the students as well. So I would like you to share with us, what is that one thing or one project that you've worked on in your school that you're so proud of, and I'm happy that since you assumed the office as the dean of that school, that you did this and you're proud of you, your staff and the students.
Great. The very first thing I will talk about is the peace that reigns in my school. Because when you are not at peace with yourself, you hardly can do anything. Secondly, I would like to also commend all my HOD. They are doing very well in terms of support to the school. Then the major thing that we have done is that of, if you look at the art and design department, for example, they have transformed the whole of that place.
That was done by the students?
Yes, the students. They do it with the support of the management, because they provided the funds. So if you look at anyway, if you enter the complex, you see that we have various courtyards there, and they put quite a lot of artistic work there. So I think that was the first major thing that I did when I became. Though some of them has been there before I came, but they increased. Then again, I know that art and design also do decoration for most of the departments away from our own school. Then lastly, we are also kickstarting another round of the walkway. You know, the current walkway stopped at somewhere before we get to this studio here.
Yes,
so we are kickstarting another round of it, and the casting of the columns has just started. So in a few weeks to this time, you see the walkway getting across here towards the gate. That's the plan.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's quite impressive. And before we allow you to go, we need to want to find out from you, because we understand that you have finalists in your school. You have final year students, HND2, as well as ND2 students, and many of them are beginning to wind up on their programs. We are in the second semester already, so, and they need to get into the labor market and also experience what it means to be a professional in their own field. What is your advice for them? Understanding the fact that they are moving from classroom now into the industry. What is your advice to them as a quantity surveyor that you've been, and also an academic par excellence? I want you to give them an advice from your own professional point of view.
In 1 minute, because of our time.
Okay.
Yeah,
maybe I'll just use my own field as an example. As a quantity surveyor, we have been training them on quite a lot of theoretical things, but there's one major addition that this school is having, which cut across all the departments. We have what we call the technical expert of software. In my school, the ongoing software in my department are being taught as students.
Great.
So whenever they graduate and go into the market, they are there. Because I just came back from a QS assembly in Abuja, and one of the speakers there said, if you come out of this your school these days and you are not IT skilled, you are nowhere. So, and that IT skill, you look at our IT center, for example, quite all of the students in my department have one thing or the other to do with IT skill. That IT skill is one of the marketing or the selling point. For example, most of our exams are even done by CB whatever. So if you are not good in all of that, it will be a lot of problems. So my advice for them is that get as much skill as you can, away from even what you learn in class. But though what you learn in class will be the foundation, but then get as much skill as you can, and this school provide that skill.
All right,
Thank you so much,
just are the voice of our very own the quantity surveyor Jacob Abiodun Bamidele Awolisi. He's the dean of the School of Environmental Studies, the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro, and we've discussed varieties of issues. We've talked about the school, and also we talked about you also advise students, finalists in the house, to ensure that they are IT driven, as much as possible,
and learn what you have to learn now before you go to the labor market.
Exactly.
That's very compulsory.
And that is something we need to also imbibe as students and also as people who are going into the industry, into the market itself, so that we can also be a part. We can be distinct in our own very respective things. All right, so we'll go on this short break, and we'll come back. We'll continue our conversation on Poly TV Show. Thank you once again for coming on the show, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Be right back. Welcome back. It's to the Poly TV Show on Poly TV Ilaro. Thank you so much for still keep watching, and this is the last segment of the program. Of course, Samuel Olaniyan is still in the studio. So what are we talking about on this segment, the center table?
Yeah, on this center table segment, we're talking about financial literacy and also the Ponzi scheme. We have a lot of Ponzi scheme that students fall victims of. They get to put in money and also get to expect return on investment, probably 100%. And the fact is that there's virtually no venture you put in money into and expect 100% return of investment. So we're going to talk about that aspect on this program today.
Talking about that, I just want to give you a logic and a trick that whenever you see a message that they say so person said is disbursing a particular fund, just block and report the person. Block and report, because don't click any link. We had some students, their accounts were hacked. We had issue that they were messaging people that they saved their numbers asking for money, and some people fell victim of it, that they send the person money. So why not stay safe? Don't click on any link that you're not sure of, and don't expect money from where you didn't put money.
And also understand the fact that we are in the world of we have a whole lot of banking business. We have the OPay, the PalmPay, and the likes. And your phone number is also your personal asset. It should be your personal. It's not meant for public consumption. So those of you who indulge the habit of trying to paste your account number on every group you come across, you might be exposing too much of yourself, to the world out there. Your account number should be your personal thing, and you send to people that you have personal.
Even your name should be your personal stuff. Exactly. Your phone. I'm not saying that. I see some people that even their phones don't have password. They don't have locks on their phone. Just know that anyone can just pick up your phone, press a particular link, and all of those things. And I also think there's a code that you can press on your phone to help you determine if your phone is being monitored or followed. I think that will be displayed on the screen so that you all can know that. Try the you type those codes to know if anyone hacked your phone or anyone is having access to your financial your money. Exactly, your money. Exactly. And
also about the aspect of the Ponzi scheme, like I said, there is no venture you put in money into and expect 100% investment, return of investment in it. It's not possible of interest. So you should ensure that when you're putting in money, it's usually 50-50. It's either you profit or you run at loss. But either way, you shouldn't expect to put in 1,000 and I still expect to get probably 10,000. That's not possible. So if anybody is promising you that you should bring in this money and you're going to expect this without doing anything, they call it awoof money. Exactly. Please run for your dear life. You can verify those websites. You get
those
to see
links.
You get to see them online, that those websites have been dubious in the past and they are all scammers. So please, let's stay vigilant and let's ensure that we do not take our financial capacity for granted. And that will be all for today on this segment of Center Table on Poly TV Ilaro and your very darling program Poly TV Show. And please want also tell you all to please keep on subscribing, keep on clicking, keep on liking, and keep on sharing. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you're not doing well. Please rush now to YouTube and search Poly TV Ilaro. Ensure you click on subscribe button and also turn on the bell notifications. We are yet because of you.
Thank you so much to everyone that watched today's episode and those that have not watched but you're going to watch it. Thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for supporting Poly TV Ilaro. And like Samuel said, please subscribe. You need to support us, drop your comment, engage in our conversation. And with that, I would say my name is Damilola Adekunle. And with that, we're saying bye-bye.
I'm Samuel Olaniyan. They call me Big Sam OAP. And you know we love you like you also love us. So please keep on engaging with us on Poly TV Ilaro. Till we'll see some other time. Keep staying safe and secure. We love you. Bye for now.